Well, picture this. I'm sitting on my porch, sipping a black coffee strong enough to wake a coma patient, watching the sun dip below the pines that frame my little slice of heaven, a cabin by the lake, off-grid, no neighbors for miles. It's the kind of quiet where you can hear a fish sneeze. I earned this peace. Decades of dodging bullets, sometimes literal, sometimes bureaucratic, got me here. Retirement's sweet when you've got a pension, a knack for rigging traps, and zero tolerance for nonsense. Then she showed up. Karen, queen of the HOA, self-appointed dictator of dirt roads and picnic tables, waddling onto my property like she owned the deed. It started innocently enough. A Saturday, mid-June, the kind of day where the air smells like pine and freedom. I'm tinkering with my solar panels, because who needs the grid when you've got sunlight and spite? When I hear the crunch of tires on gravel. Not my gravel. Her gravel, apparently, because a shiny white SUV rolls up, HOA sticker gleaming like a badge of entitlement. Out steps Karen, hair teased into a helmet, sunglasses perched like she's auditioning for a reality show. She's got a clipboard. A clipboard. On my land. I should have known then this wasn't a neighborly chat. Excuse me. She chirps, voice dripping with that fake sweet tone that says she's about to ruin your day. I'm with the Pinewood HOA. We're expanding our community picnic area, and this lake is just perfect for our summer potluck. She waves at my lake like she's Christopher Columbus claiming the new world. I squint at her, wondering if she's lost or just stupid. My cabin's 5 miles past the HOA boundary. Checked it myself with a surveyor back in last year before buying a land, because I don't trust anyone who says, trust me, with a smile. Lady, I say, setting down my wrench slow like, this ain't HOA land. This is my ranch. Private property. No trespassing signs every 50 feet. Big ones, red letters. You blind or just bold? She blinks, then laughs. That shrill, nails on chalkboard laugh. Oh, honey, those signs don't mean much when it's for the community. We're annexing this area. Eminent domain or something. I'll have to talk to my lawyer, but I'm sure it's fine. She flips her clipboard, scribbling like she's drafting my eviction notice. I'm no lawyer, but I've stared down worse than Karen in my day. Think less suburban mom and more cartel enforcer with a rusty machete. Eminent domain. On my land. This woman's about to learn the difference between a cul-de-sac and a kill zone. I lean back, cross my arms, and let her ramble. She's got plans, big ones. We'll put picnic tables here, she says, pointing at my dock. A gazebo there, my firewood shed. And we'll clear these ugly trees for parking. She means my old-growth pines, the ones I've named after buddies who didn't make it back from Langley missions. I'm half amused, half tempted to rig a tripwire right then, but I play nice. For now. Karen, I say, catching her name off the HOA badge pinned to her polo, you're trespassing. I'd suggest you leave before this gets messy. She smirks, and says, oh, I'll be back with the board. We'll sort this out. Enjoy your little shack while it lasts. Then she sashays back to her SUV, leaving me with a cloud of dust and a new mission. Bury this HOA clown before she buries me. Tension's brewing, right? I've dealt with insurgents, double agents, and that one time in '92 with the exploding briefcase. But Karen? She's a different beast. I crack my knuckles, grab my satellite phone, and start dialing old contacts. If she wants my lake, she's gonna have to fight for it. And I've got tricks she can't even spell. Karen's parting shot about sorting this out lit a fire under me. I don't do threats, I neutralize them. By sundown, I'm on my porch with a topo map of my ranch, a legal pad, and a burner phone pinging a secure line to an old CIA buddy, Dave. Not his real name, but if I told you that, I'd have to. Well, you know. Dave's retired too, but he's got a Rolodex of favors and a knack for digging up dirt. HOA, huh? He chuckles, voice like gravel through the static. Send me her name. I'll see what skeletons she's got. I grin. Step 1, know thy enemy. Next morning, I'm up at dawn, rigging defenses. See, I've got a history of turning quiet retreats into fortresses, habit from the old days. I string fishing line across the access road, ankle high, tied to bells from an op in Laos. Anyone trips it, I'll hear them a mile off. Then I dust off my trail cams, military grade, motion activated, hidden in the pines. Karen wants a picnic? She'll get a surveillance montage. I'm not shooting for lethal. Yet, just intel. By noon, Dave calls back. Karen Whitaker, he says. HOA Prez, real estate agent, and a rap sheet of petty fines she's dodged. Also, she's got a lien on her McMansion, overextended on Botox and granite countertops, I'd guess. Jackpot. Leverage. Sure enough, she's back by lunch, this time with reinforcements. 2 HOA board members, a weaselly guy in khakis and a woman clutching a tote bag like it's her last shred of authority. They're hauling folding chairs and a Pinewood HOA picnic zone banner. I watch from my ridge, binoculars in hand, as Karen plants a stake in my soil like she's Lewis and Clark. The bells jingle. Amateurs didn't even see the line. I stroll down, casual as a Sunday hike, and greet them with a smile that's all teeth. Morning, folks, I say, leaning on my axe, freshly sharpened, mostly for effect. You're trespassing again. I've got cameras rolling, so smile pretty. Karen scoffs. This is public access now. We voted on it last night. Voted? On my land. I laugh, loud and sharp, and the weasel flinches. That's cute, I say, but this is deeded private property, filed with the county in '98. You've got no jurisdiction. Leave, or I press charges. She doesn't budge. We'll see about that, she snaps, pulling out her phone. I'm calling Sheriff Dan. He's a friend. Oh, Sheriff Dan? The guy I taught fly fishing last summer after he begged me for tips? I almost pity her. Almost. Go ahead, I say, but you might want to check your signal. She frowns. Nothing. I've got a jammer in my shed, a little Cold War relic. Her face goes red as she realizes she's got no bars, and I'm just getting started. Then I turn back to the trio. Here's the deal, I say, voice low like I'm briefing a strike team. You've got 10 minutes to pack up, or I escalate this. And trust me, I've got friends who make your lawyer look like a mall cop. The tote bag lady gulps, but Karen doubles down. This isn't over, she hisses, stomping off with her minions. I let them go for now. Escalation's her game? Fine. I've got aces she doesn't even know exist. By dusk, Dave's got gold. The HOA's overstepped its charter, and Karen's been skimming dues for personal expenses. I sip my coffee, plotting. She wants a war? I'll give her one. Legal, precise, and so satisfying it'll be a Reddit legend. The bells jingle again. Round 2's coming, and I'm ready to bury her in her own picnic. Karen's third invasion hits at high noon, because of course she picks the hottest, sweatiest hour to flex her HOA muscle. This time, she's rolled up with a full posse, 6 board members, a gaggle of entitled neighbors hauling coolers, and, get this, a portable karaoke machine blaring Sweet Caroline, like it's a battle hymn. They're dragging picnic tables onto my dock, trampling my wildflowers, and staking a Pinewood HOA welcomes you sign into my lawn. I'm watching from the cabin, sipping iced tea spiked with a little bourbon, because if I'm going to deal with this circus, I deserve a buzz. The bells jangled 10 minutes ago, so I've had time to prep. My trail cams are rolling, my jammer's humming, and I've got a stack of county docs Dave overnight. HOA charter, property lines, the works. I stroll out, hands in pockets, looking like a guy who just remembered he left the oven on. Afternoon, Karen, I call, voice dripping with mock cheer. You throwing a party on my dime? She spins, clipboard clutched like a shield. This is HOA property now, she snaps. We've claimed it for community use. You're outnumbered, so just accept it. Outnumbered? Cute. I've stared down AK-47s with worse odds. That's not how property law works, sweetheart. I say, pulling out my deed. Laminated, because I'm that guy. This is my ranch, clear to the lake. Your HOA stops 5 miles east. Want to see the survey? Her posse shifts, murmuring, but Karen's undeterred. We voted, she shrieks. Majority rules. I laugh so hard I nearly choke. This ain't a democracy, Karen. It's my land. And you're trespassing, again. I nod at the cams. All on tape. Sheriff Dan's gonna love this. Her eyes narrow. Dan's on my side, she says, smug as a cat with a canary. I just smile. Dan's been texting me phishing memes since I called him last night. He's teamed me. Time to turn the screws. Here's the fun part. I say, loud enough for the peanut gallery. I've got your HOA charter. You've got no authority to annex private land. That's a state-level overreach you didn't file for. Oh, and Karen, that lien on your house. Public record. How's it feel skimming dues to pay off your pool boy? The crowd gasps, like we're in a soap opera. Her face goes from tomato to eggplant. Lies, she sputters, but tote bag lady's already edging toward the SUV. I'm not done. One call to the county. I say, holding up my sat phone. And this picnic's a crime scene. Trespassing, vandalism, fraud. Pick your poison. The weasel in khakis drops a cooler and bolts. Karen's losing her army, but she's too stubborn to fold. We'll sue, she yells. We'll bury you. Bury me? I've survived coups she couldn't pronounce. Go ahead, I say. My lawyer's ex-jag. Loves a challenge. The crowd scatters, dragging tables and dignity with them. Karen's left standing, karaoke silent, banner flapping like a white flag. This isn't over, she hisses, storming off. Sure it's not, I think, dialing Dave. Time to end this, and make it hurt. The lake's quiet again, but I'm not relaxing yet. Karen's down, not out, and I've got one last card to play. Justice is coming, and it's gonna be sweeter than her potluck punch. After Karen's picnic flop, I figure she'll lick her wounds and slink back to her McMansion to cry into a Chardonnay spritzer. Nope. She's got the tenacity of a cockroach in a fallout shelter. By Monday, I've got a certified letter, HOA letterhead, all caps, demanding I cease obstructing community progress or face legal action. It's signed Karen D. Whitaker, President, with a flourish that screams, I peaked in high school. I frame it on my wall next to a photo of me and a dictator I once deposed. Matching vibes. She's not bluffing, either. Tuesday, a tow truck rumbles up my road. Some greasy guy in a pinewood towing cap, here to repossess my dock. My dock. I'm out there in 10 seconds, shotgun slung over my shoulder. Not loaded, just dramatic. Buddy, I say, you touch that wood, and you'll be fishing your truck out of the lake. He stammers. HOA hired me, and I flash my deed. HOA's got no claim. Scram. He peels out, leaving tire marks and a whiff of regret. Karen's escalating, but I'm 2 steps ahead. Dave's been busy. He digs up more. Karen's been forging signatures on HOA docs, inflating budgets. And, here's the kicker, her annexation vote was held in her living room with 3 cronies and a bottle of rose. Illegal as hell. I call Sheriff Dan, who's already laughing when he picks up. She told me you're a squatter, he says. I told her I've seen your tax records. She's pissed. I grin. Want to serve some papers? Dan's in, loves a good takedown. Wednesday, I hit back. I file a formal complaint with the county. Trespassing, harassment, fraud, backed by cam footage and Dave's dirt. Then I leak it to the HOA's private Facebook group. Dave hacked the password. Pinewood 123, real genius stuff. The post's simple. Karen's picnic was on my land. Here's the proof. Check your dues. She's spending them on herself. I attach screenshots of her lien and a blurry pic of her yelling at my dock. Chaos erupts. Where's my $200 going? She said the lake was ours. I want a refund. Karen's reins cracking like cheap drywall. She retaliates Thursday with a cease and desist from a lawyer, some strip mall hack who spells my name wrong. I send it back with corrections in red pen and a note. See you in court, champ. Then I call my jag buddy, Mike, who's itching to flex his legal biceps. HOA fraud, he says. I'll have her crying by discovery. We draft a countersuit. Damages, defamation, emotional distress. Throwing the book so hard it'll leave a mark. Friday, the coup de grace. Dan rolls up with a deputy, serving Karen a summons at her precious HOA meeting. I watch from my ridge, binocs in hand, as she shrieks, "This is tyranny," while neighbors film it for TikTok. The board's turning on her. Weasel Khakis is already spilling to Dan about the forged votes. My phone buzzes. Mike's found a state statute that could dissolve the HOA entirely if fraud's proven. I sip my bourbon, smirking. Karen's empire's crumbling. and I'm the wrecking ball. She's got one last play, I'm sure, some desperate Hail Mary. I'm ready. The lake's mine, the law's mine, and soon, her crown will be too. Justice isn't just coming. It's RSVP'd with a +1 named Karma. Saturday dawns crisp, the kind of day where the lake sparkles like it's mocking Karen's meltdown. She's not done, though. Oh no, this woman's got the survival instinct of a reality TV contestant. Word's out she's rallying her last loyalists for a protest on my land. I'm sipping coffee, cleaning my old service Beretta, just for show, mind you, when Dave pings me. She's on X, screaming about land theft by a hermit squatter. You're trending. I snort. Hermit? Sure. Squatter? She wishes. By noon. They're here. Karen, weasel khakis, tote bag lady, and a dozen Karens in training, armed with signs, Save Our Lake, and a megaphone. She's in full dictator mode, screeching, this tyrant can't stop progress, while they march onto my dock. I let them get comfy, picnic blankets down, karaoke plugged in, then stroll out, casual as a retiree picking up his mail. Nice party. I say, loud enough to cut through her bullhorn. Too bad it's illegal. She whirls, megaphone blaring. You're finished. We're taking this to the state. I grin, holding up my sat phone. Funny you mentioned that. Mike's been busy. State AG's office got my complaint, and they're very interested in her HOA scam. Sheriff Dan's en route. I add, with warrants. Plural. Her posse freezes. Weasel drops his sign and bolts, second time this week. Loyalty's thin when cuffs are on the table. Dan rolls up, lights flashing, with 2 deputies and a grin wider than the lake. Karen Whitaker, he booms, you're under arrest for fraud, forgery, and trespassing. She shrieks, this is a setup, as they cuff her, megaphone clattering. The crowd scatters, abandoning coolers and dignity. Tote bag lady sobbing. I just wanted a picnic. Dan winks at me. Nice work, Colonel. Yep, Colonel. Retired CIA, 30 years of black ops. Now just a guy who wanted a quiet lake. Surprise, Karen. The aftermath's glorious. Mike's suit guts the HOA, dissolved by week's end, assets seized to cover Karen's fines. Her house? Foreclosed, thanks to that lien I spotlighted. She's last seen hauling garbage bags into a rented U-Haul. HOA crown officially toppled. My leak on X goes viral. Clips of her arrest rack up millions of views. Captioned Karen versus CIA vet. Bad choice. Reddit's calling me lakefront legend. I don't post, but Dave says I'm a meme now when you trespass on the wrong ranch. Sunday, I'm back on my porch, lake peaceful, bourbon in hand. No bells jingle, no SUVs crunch gravel. Just me, my pines, and a dock that's mine. Legally, irrevocably. I toast the air. To justice, I mutter, and Karens who don't read no trespassing signs. The fish jump, the sun sets, and I'm finally free of her picnic-sized ego. Worth every trap, every call, every sarcastic quip. So, folks, that's my tale. Karen's last HOA picnic, or why you don't mess with a CIA vet's ranch. Moral? Check your deeds, know your foe, and never underestimate a guy with a jammer and a grudge. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a lake to fish and a legend to live. Thank you for being with us. Please share in the comments where you are from and whether you liked everything, and see you next time.